did you understand about this control, guys? What did you understand about this control, SQL data source control? Shiva, you tell me what we can do by using this control.
By using this control to communicate the grid view, list view to the SQL server database.
Using this control, we can communicate SQL server database, and we can perform database operations from ASP.NET web page. From ASP.NET web page means it is almost all like data provider. Whatever a data provider is doing, that will be providing by a control called SQL data source control. Means whenever you are implementing ADO.NET, till the time we are using a concept called what? To communicate database. We are using a concept called data provider.
Connection.
Data provider, connection object, command object, data adapter object, data reader. All these are the objects from where data provider. Connection object, command object, data adapter object, all these are providing by data provider. Because all these are the classes from the base class library called system.data.sql client is nothing but a data provider. So till the time to communicate a SQL server database, we are taking the help of data provider. But if you will use the SQL data source control, you don't require to use data provider to communicate database. So we can replace data provider with the help of a control called
data source control.
SQL data source control. So that's why I said to you all, it is acting like a mediator between ASP.NET web page and ASP.NET controls and SQL server database. You can observe SQL data source control. SQL data source control will be acting like a mediator between SQL server database. Here SQL server database. Here you have a ASP.NET web page. ASP.NET web page. So your web page will be designing with what? Controls. So your mediator is what? SQL data
Source control.
SQL data source control. SQL data source control will be acting as a Are you clear? You are able to avoid which control? Which one? Because of this data
provider.
Data provider can be avoided. No connection object, no command object, no data reader and so on. Finally, we can say SQL data source control will be allowing the communication between ASP.NET web page and SQL server database. When we are